I am the one who formed your heart and instilled life in your being. I see each of the thoughts that cross your mind and listen to each cry that rises from the depths of your soul. I want you to know that I have never turned away from you, even when you felt neglected or forgotten. My desire is to show you every day to what extent you are precious to me, and to remember that whatever your sorrows or your doubts, I stand by your side. When you feel the weight of the fear weighed on your mind, remember that my presence precedes you. I saw you grow, tripping and getting up. You turned to me in your most difficult times, and I have always approached you with a limitless compassion. My love does not disappear when you go. He does not weaken when you doubt. On the contrary, it is strengthened, ready to rise above the shadows that threaten your hope. You can rest in my arms when you are exhausted. I will protect you and keep you in the warmth of my eternal care. You are there for a reason, and your life is a continuous testimony of my promise to stay with you in any season. Let your tears run if you need it, because I understand your pain. When you freed these burdens hidden from your heart, you open up to the healing that I want to bring so much. Do not think you have to present yourself to me by being perfect. I know your strengths, but I also see your faults. My child, I'm here to free you from guilt that tries to notify yourself and regrets that blow you that you are not worthy of my love. In my eyes, you have always been more precious than you imagine. My intention is to move you forward by holding your hand with patience and sweetness so that you discover the beauty of forgiveness and the depth of the restoration that I offer. When the challenges stand as big giants, you can wonder if you have the strength to continue. Let me make sure you are stronger than you think, because my mind lives in you and renew your determination every morning. Obstacles will arise, storms will make it rage, and voices may tell you that you will not survive combat. However, in these difficult moments, keep your gaze on me. Let my word fill your heart with light and truth. When your mind is overwhelmed, I am your serenity. When your body is exhausted, I am your energy. When confusion tries to get lost, I bring you back to the safe path, the one who gives you hope and clarity. There are times when you have the impression of having ruled out too much or having made too many mistakes. Perhaps shame, and it is to convince you that it is impossible to return to me. That's wrong. Whenever you are lost, I'm ready to open my arms to welcome you. I see beyond your failures to discern the person you really are. You have a mission on this land that no one else can accomplish. And even if you have doubts, I think in you. My mercy is constantly renewed, purifying your mind like fresh morning dew. Bring me your anxieties, pour your heart without restraint, and I will answer you with comfort, encouragement, and the strength to overcome each test. I care about your family, your friendships, and your daily needs. I notice every detail of your life, the dreams that you keep near you, the silent prayers that you whisper, the burdens that you try to wear alone. Let me share these burdens. Entrust me with your worries. Release the tension that serves your heart. Breathe deeply and receive the peace that I want to give you. Don't be disturbed if the road seems long and uncertain to you. I have already measured each step and prepared the answers you need. You don't confront this world alone. My celestial messengers are ready to defend you, and my presence offers you a safe refuge every time you invoice me. Continues to trust my power and do not leave your courage weaken. If you fall, I will be there to help you get up, to wipe the dust of your feet, and remind you that nothing can separate you from my eternal love. Sometimes the shadows of doubt or discouragement can take into account, encouraging you to believe that I am far away. Know that I see your interior struggles, and I know how each thought can bring you closer to me or train towards sadness. When you focus on my words of comfort, you will see rivers of hope sink into you. When you hang on to faith, even while trembling, you will discover how I transform the obstacles into the march, how I change tears in dance, and how I make the joy of sadness. Regardless of the intensity of the negative voices, my voice is more powerful, safer, and full of kindness. I have observed you since the moment you have entered this life. Sometimes you crossed anguish valleys, convinced that joy would never come back. And Hemming, even in these valleys, I was by your side, murmuring you. My love goes far beyond what you can grasp, because I shaped your heart to receive it, an infinite then that does not dry up in the depths of your despair. Call me. I will come with gently, but also with the fierce determination of extricating you from any abyss. This same love that called you by your name will follow you all your life. He will stabilize your steps, heal your injuries, and assure you that you are loved no matter the circumstances. I know perfectly the difficulties surrounding you, your financial problems, conflicts at home, your concerns for your health. None of this is invisible to me. While others could minimize your suffering or blame yourself for feeling outdated, I don't. Instead, I hold out my hand so that you hang it and find the strength and deliverance in me. You have never been supposed to wear these weights alone. Put them between my hands and you will see how I transform the impossible into testimony of grace. My plan for you is not destruction, but an overflowing life of meaning, love, and new beginnings. Abandon the weight of your concerns and let me guide your steps towards a horizon of lasting peace and accomplishment. When you are on the verge of tears and you miss the words to describe your pain, I'm here. Talk to me since the sincerity of your heart. Let your tears be your prayer. Because I understand them before she even flows on your cheeks. In the vulnerable silence of this moment, I will put my comforting hand on you. My presence is not limited to distances or time. I have the power to enter your darkest hours and sow a seed of hope that will flower at daybreak. Take courage because you are never abandoned. You are mine, and I always called you by a name that reflects my love. Beloved child, precious, soul, treasure of my heart. You may wonder why I allow the tests to occur. Often, it is at the heart of adversity that your faith is purified. I do not wish to see you suffer, but I know that through these difficulties, you grow in character, perseverance, and wisdom. Are not afraid of these tests, because I am with you in each of them, offering you my hand so that you never confront them alone. Each ordeal that you are coming to become a testimony of courage and endurance. Each overcome sentence makes you a person more brought to compassion. Let my love soften the places of your heart where you have undergone injuries or disappointments. You discover that for each dark night, I prepared a luminous dawn full of renewal. When others lower you or tell lies about your future, remember that me alone hold your destiny. Their words can hurt you at the moment, but they cannot alter the truth that I proclaimed on you. He intended for victory, fullness, and spiritual freedom. I have woven in you the ability to dream, to hope, and to know the transformation far beyond your current understanding. If you hang on to me and if you soak up my promises, you will notice how your perspective changes, how the walls of the impossible collapse, and how the doors of the blessing open very large. Even in the seasons where it seems to you that everything goes wrong, I am at work in silence for your good. When your body is weakened by illness or stress, don't think I abandoned you. Bring me your suffering, and let me envelop you with a peace that goes beyond all human logic. I will stay with you, offering you persistence to continue and patience to trust my calendar. If healing does not happen as you hoped or at the desired time, do not lose hope. I see the wider canvas of your life, and I know precisely how to shape each situation to extract its beauty, even the most difficult corners. My methods may seem mysterious to you, but never doubt that I compete in the good of those who attach to my hand. In the bustle and uninterrupted sequence of your days, it is easy to lose sight of my presence. You let yourself be caught up in the requirements of work, the concerns of the family, and the constant flow of information that widespread you. I understand how much that may be exhausting. However, I invite you to take a break, if only for a short time, and to rest in my presence. Let your mind relax and find a new breath in my peace. Listen to my sweet murmur at the bottom of your heart, which reminds you that you are loved, that your life is important, and that every detail concerning you. My company is not limited to sacred places or special ceremonies. I walk with you in the corridors of your office. I go up with you in your car. I accompany you when you take care of those dear to you. Wherever you go, I'm here, ready to refresh your soul if you open up to me. If you are overwhelmed by guilt and doubt to be accepted, be released from this fear. My forgiveness is boundless, and my affection is not measured by your successes or your failures. I look at your heart. When you come back to me, really sorry and ready to move away from what hurts you, I washed you all defilement. I remove the burden of shame so that you advance with confidence. Do not remain fixed on your past faults. Once I forgive you, they no longer have any grip on your future. Trust me to the point of continuing without these chains that hold you back. Open my eyes to the new possibilities that I place in front of you. You may think of certain chapters of your life with regret. There may have been choices that made you wrong or that have injured those whom you like, relations that have suddenly ended, leaving you the feeling of having been abandoned or betrayed. Know that I can heal even these wounds that you thought was indelible as long as you give them to me. I will repair the premises broken inside you. Often healing is a process, so don't be surprised if it takes time. Every day lets a little more my light penetrate into you. Every day, trust the fact that I renew you from the inside. One morning, you will wake up to note that yesterday's burden, so heavy in the past, was removed and replaced by the sweet certainty that your heart is safe under my protection. Stay at peace for the future. The concern will try to tighten its noose on your heart, filling your spirit of frightening thoughts on the next day. But think, I have already gone before you, preparing the way. If you advance with me step by step, you will see doors open at the precise moment when it will be necessary. You will find resources and will do unexpected meetings. I will show you that I am able to do much more than you imagine. Interview an attitude of gratitude and let your faith strengthen each answer, each blessing, and even each question that remains unanswered. Although you can't understand everything at the moment, trust me, I see the entire painting, and I act with a deep and unshakable love for your ultimate property. There are days when you feel weighed down by your own sadness or to be seen by the suffering you see around you. Hatred, cruelty, and injustice can torment you and make you doubt the victory of the good. My beloved child does not lose courage. My heart breaks as much as yours in the face of each injustice. But I placed you here to be a carrier of light. May your actions, your words, and your compassion reflect my heart. Even a small gesture of goodness can arouse healing waves which go far beyond what you can observe. When you show mercy, you highlight my nature. When you encourage, you pass my voice. When you like those who are difficult to love, you become a channel of grace that can tender even the most arid land. You are not alone in this task. I will walk by your side, multiplying your efforts and comforting you when you feel discouraged. There will be people who do not understand your faith or your dedication towards me. They can make fun of you or wonder why you continue to do confidence in a promise that seems invisible to them. Remember that I do not impose my presence on anyone. Love them despite everything. Be patient. Show grace and live in such a way that he sees what I have accomplished in you. Over time, some will be attracted by the peace that you show, by the joy that flowers even in the midst of the trials, and by the force that you will manifest in time of pressure. This is how they can discover me through you. Continues to love them with sincerity and confide in me to touch their hearts far beyond what you can do by your only means. Never forget that I also wish to bring them closer to me as I did for you. Let this day remind you that I constantly watch over you. I hear the silent cries of your heart and your deepest aspirations of meaning and belonging. You were not created to settle for an empty routine. I shaped you to live a life in abundance, step by step by my side, learning to love without limit and to bless without hesitation. If you allow me, I will expand your ability to take care of others, to serve with humility, and to inspire hope. This life in fullness will not always be sparkling, but it will overflow importance and promises. Every morning, you will get up with a feeling of waiting, freed from the fear of failure or the doubt of knowing if you are well enough. My grace fills its voids, allowing you to become the person that I always wanted you to be. Your family counts in my eyes, whether it is filled with laughter or tense with conflicts. I am ready to dump unit and affection if you let me enter it. If tensions persist, invite these breaks. Talk to me about misunderstandings, disappointments, or the anger that covers. I am the one who can bring you healing, teach forgiveness, and restore links that seemed irreparable. If you place your home in my hands, you will see the transformation gradually, day after day. Open your doors to my influence and observe the bitterness losing its grip, replaced by empathy and the desire to listen. Do not discourage yourself if the change arrives more slowly than you want. Understand that every time you love, that you pray, that you speak with kindness, you prepare the ground for miracles in the hearts of your loved ones. in periods of loneliness, when it seems that people have moved away. I want you. Remember that I never left you. Human relationships can run up, and even good friends can disappoint or move away. My love remains solid through the ages. Let me fill the void in you so that you do not try to obtain validation in places that would make your heart suffer. Approach me, and I will be your constant companion, a friend who really understands each of your corners. You can entrust me with your joys and sorrows. Sure, I never you will humble for your weaknesses or will not exploit your secrets. I deeply hold to you, and I rejoice every moment that you devote to our relationship. When harmful habits or destructive patterns threaten to divert you from me, remember that I offer you a way out. The temptations and dependencies may seem to be prisons from which one cannot escape, but my power is stronger than anything that seeks to serve you. I invite you to enter the freedom I have prepared for you. Abandon these harmful inclinations and ask me for help every day. This does not mean that you will never be tempted again, but you will have a source of strength that is not exhausted. You will learn to count on me and gradually break the chains that held you back. I am delighted with each victory, even minimal, and I am here to support you when you feel weak. Press yourself on me, and you will become more solid, realizing that you are not defined by your struggles, but by the grace that helps you overcome them. There will be times when you will wonder why you exist. You will compare yourself to those who seem more talented, richer in resources or with opportunities that you do not have. Do not gauge yourself according to human criteria. Turn to me, and I will show you the gifts that I have placed in your life. Talents are waiting to be discovered, cultivated, and released for a particular mission. You were created with a unique assembly of strength, dream, and experience that distinguishes you from all the others. If you put these qualities in my hands, you will achieve things that you would never have thought possible. You will become an instrument of hope for people who need precisely what you have to offer. Remember that my vision of success is not the same as that of the world. I value humility, integrity, and love more than any terrestrial reward. As you align yourself on my heart, you will find a feeling of accomplishment that goes beyond ephemeral success or any acclamation. Are not afraid of what the future reserves. Many voices announce disasters in which fear is, but when you are under my protection, you can be sure of one thing. I stay in command even when the world seems to vacilla. I am your rock. My promises for you cannot be destroyed by any land circumstance. Hang on to this certainty. You are in security with me. Your faith acts like a shield that preserves you from despair, interviews it, remaining close to me. Get around a recall of my love, whether by my words of truth, by fields that raise the soul, or by people who share the same hope. The storms will come, but they will not take you. You will face them with courage, because my mind will guide you, and my light will even shine through the darkest clouds. If anger has accumulated in your heart because injustice suffered, or if the resentment has germinated because of repeated injuries, give me her feelings. Let me tear away the bitterness to replace it with peace. Forgive does not mean endorse the evil suffered. This means to release your own soul from the poison of revenge and put these people back in my hands. I can bring healing to you as well as it. You may be afraid that being a mercy is such a of weakness, but in truth, forgiveness is an act of a remarkable force. He releases your heart to move forward and opens the door to my grace, which can enter places where it could not go before. Let go of the chains that hold you in the past and trust me to take care of what exceeds your control. I am delighted to see your faith grow up. Even the smallest gesture of confidence touches me because it reveals your will to believe that I can do much more than you can accomplish yourself. Don't worry, not to have. Then a limited faith. Focus on the faith you have, even if it seems tiny to you. Sign in the soil of my promises and see growing in a powerful force. Whenever you choose to trust me instead of giving in to anxiety, you watered up this faith. Whenever you rely on my strength rather than your limited means, you root it more deeply. Over time, you will turn around and you will be surprised by the solidity of your faith, realizing that your past struggles did not been vains. They were training thanks to which your dependence on me has turned with unshakable confidence. I know you happen to hesitate to come to me in prayer for fear of not finding the words or not being spiritual enough. Know that I am delighted with the simplest of conversations coming from your heart. Talk to me like a dear friend. Tell me about your joy, your frustrations, your dreams, your doubts. There is nothing that you cannot share with me. When you invite me in your thoughts, that delights me more than you imagine. I join you where you are, whether your prayer is eloquent or that it comes down to a sigh. My love for you does not depend on a well-turned formula, but on the sincerity of your heart. Come often to me and you will learn that prayer is not a ritual, but a relationship that transforms all your life. Sometimes you feel the pressure of the world who tells you that you don't do enough, that you have to do more, advance faster, or meet impossible expectations. Breathe, my child. I did not create you to exhaust you under the incessant weight of requirements. I shaped you to do a meaningful work and to taste a restful rest. It is normal to take a break, to take a time to recharge your batteries when fatigue becomes too large. I can act through your moments of rest as well as through your periods of productivity. Get rid of the burden to prove your value. You are already loved and your value is anchored in the relationship we share, not in the sum of your achievements. When shame tries to infiltrate because of your past mistakes, remember that I have the power to transform your worst faults into something beautiful. I am a specialist in redemption, and nothing is too broken for me to repair it. I can restore your heart, your relationships, and even the opportunities that you think you have definitely lost. Bring me your injuries and your regrets, and believe that my plans for you are not destroyed by your failures. I will take a renewal in all the corners of your being, creating a radiant life of hope. This renewal can be done in a gradual way, but each step that you will take to me will go away a little more from the darkness that seizes you captive. Continue to believe that I am able to revive areas that you thought you condemned forever. If the circumstances make you think that I stopped taking care of you, remember every time I guided you out of distress, where I preserved you from a danger, where I enveloped you with comfort in pain. You do not always notice my intervention, but I act constantly. I protect you in a way that escapes your understanding. My shield around you is not always visible, and yet it does not weaken. When you get up every morning, remember that I preceded you, preparing new mercies for the day. Close your ears to the murmur of despair and listen to my voice that offers you thanks, encouragement, and new chances. You may languish a solution to a specific problem that has been weighing you for a long time. Even if you do not notice any progress, do not conclude that I do not know your prayer. My calendar differs from yours, but it is always meaningful. Sometimes I operate in the shadows, setting up elements that you cannot yet perceive in order to lead to best possible results. During this waiting period, rely on me and let the patience perform his work in you. My silence does not mean my absence. Cons up constantly to me. Continue to trust me and be open to the idea that the answer could happen in a way or in a form that you do not expect. I am not limited by your expectations. My ways are higher, and my gaze kisses all of your journey. Know not then the immensity of my compassion. I understand your fatigue and your frustration when everything seems overwhelming. Imagine yourself gently drop your burdens at my feet. See me lift this weight of your shoulders and offer you my rest. Do not reject my help out of pride or for fear. My arms are open and my grace is enough. Let me stand in this moment of abandonment. You will find a deep relief there that no terrestrial comfort can provide. You will then understand that you are safe and fully love yourself. Your cur will breathe freely, and you will remember that you are never alone, because I am always close to you with an unalterable love. Let yourself be dreaming again. Whatever the number of disappointments that have dyed your mind, the dreams that persist in your heart are not insane. Often I place in you desires that reason with something important in my own heart. Dare to believe that you can aim high. Trust me to guide and shape your dreams until they become a beneficial reality, not only for you, but for many others. My creativity is boundless, and I can animate projects that you believed forever inaccessible. With me, hope even survives the darkest circumstances. Do not be paralyzed by the fear of failure. Focus on the divine possibilities that arise when your dreams align with my love and my drawings. You will hear people say that life is meaningless or that hope is only an illusion. Stay firm, knowing that I am the source of true hope. Your life makes sense because it is I who woven you with intention. Hang on to the reality of my presence, which instills a deep value each day. When cynicism or despair tries to poison your gaze, remember my promises. Remember every time I intervened in your past. My loyalty history is a solid base that can wear you through upcoming storms. The vitality of my presence offers you the possibility of approaching every day with insurance. Not by resting on your own strength, but on the certainty that I am unshakable forever. When you meet people who suffer, show them the same empathy and the same compassion I had for you. Be benevolent, be soft and patient. The world is full of souls who aspire to be seen and heard. Offer a listening ear, a word of comfort, or a gesture of help. By doing so, you reflect my heart for those who suffer, and you spread a form of healing that can change the trajectory of a life. You don't need a large platform to positively mark the existence of someone. Little gestures of love can reason for eternity. I see each act of goodness, even those who seem insignificant. Trust me, no benefit is wasted in the economy of my grace. If you experienced rejection or betrayal, I cry with you. I understand how much it breaks the heart and sows mistrust. But resume courage, because I am the one who repairs broken minds. I can lead you to relationships that honor your value and enrich your life. Do not close your heart to love because of past injuries. Let me help you heal so that the walls you built to protect yourself do not private yourself. You have been designed to unite, share, and bind to others so as to reflect the intimacy I want with you. Together we can bring together the bursts of your fracture and make it a luminous mosaic, a story of grace and restoration. I keep writing new chapters in the history of your life. You are not a prisoner of your mistakes yesterday. You can always choose a new direction enlightened by my wisdom. If you are uncertain of the rest, come to me. I will fill your heart with clarity and tell you a path illuminated by my truth. Whenever you feel the confusion, remember that I am not the author of disorder, but of peace. I want you to experience stability and certainty, not the errance in perpetual doubt. Lift your eyes towards me, and I will enlighten you a step in faith. This alone step of faith can be enough to move you forward, assured that I will continue to guide you. When coming in the morning, and you awaken to face your day, recognize my presence by your side. Thanks to me for watching you overnight and giving you a news. Opportunity to learn, love, and grow. While the sun rises, opens your heart to the mercies that await you. Even if the day has tests, remember that I am with you, offering you the perseverance and the necessary grace. In the evening, when you think back to your victories and your failures, bring me everything. Rest in certainty that your life is wrapped in my kindness. Each day and night cycle, you will find reasons to be grateful, reasons to hope, and reasons to trust me. I want you to advance without fear. You are not a prisoner of yesterday's pain or the uncertainties of tomorrow. You have the freedom to stand right, supported by a celestial force that never weakens. If your mind tries to convince you that you do nothing, make these lies with my truth. You are loved, you have value, you are redeemable. Keep this conviction very close to your heart. Whenever you feel weak, hang on to me, and I will be your source. Unshakable confidence. Advance with daring to the future, taking with you the lessons learned, but leaving shame and fear behind. My arms are always open, ready to support you. My child, I see the dreams that you once had in your heart, the hopes that you put aside because you were afraid that it was impossible. Reconnoiter these desires through my gaze. I can revive them and breathe new vitality to them. Trust me. With my help, everything delay or detour can be transformed into a renewal testimony. Very often, a dream must cross the fire of the tent and the test to come out purified, ready to fill a larger drawing. Do not give up the impulses that I placed in you. Interview them, pray for them, and be ready to act when I open the door. Open your quiet heart that I want to share with you. Rest, knowing that I really care about every aspect of your path. Several ways in this world could tell you that your situation is desperate or that you have excluded yourself from your trajectory. Do not let them suffocate the truth that I have implanted in you. There is a silent refuge in my presence, a place of tranquility and insurance, where your soul can place the burdens it bore. In this refuge, you can breathe without fear, cry if you wish, and release the anxious thoughts that stir your mind. Know that you are never alone, never out of my reach, and that I will guide even in the most confused seasons of life. It will happen that past memories suddenly arise, triggering regrets or shame. You will be able to return to old decisions by wondering if you could have modified them. I ask you to recognize that I am doing something new in you, a restoration work that does not feed on your old errors. I see far beyond what you see. I look at your desire to grow, to learn, to develop more, compassion and walking wisely. If you pay too much on the past faults that you can no longer change, you prevent yourself from grasping the grace that I offer you today. Let my love wash his memories and get rid of their power to make you suffer. You will discover that my forgiveness offers you a broader vision of the person you become, and you will see that no chapter of your life is irrecoverable when you give me back. I know the fights you men don't penser. Sometimes your mind is lost in catastrophe scenarios, imagining problems that may never happen. At other times you are struggling under unresolved weights, asking you if you will have the strength to overcome. In these moments, turn to me. I am the source of true peace, and I promise to strengthen your mind when you attach your heart to me. You are free to let go of your fears. I do not ask you to deny or repress them, but to bringing to my light where I could show you that no situation goes beyond my ability to manage it. Even if the solutions do not manifest quickly, the simple fact of coming to me can calm the whirlwind of concern and bring you the serenity necessary to think more clearly. Leave the essence of my compassion to invade you, especially when your mind is agitated by sadness, when you are overwhelmed by your uncertainties for the future, or by your remorse for the past. That these concerns are pushing you to get closer to me rather than getting away. If you do not know how to pray or what word to pronounce, remember that I scrutinize your heart and that I already know your deepest needs. Your simple call, help me or stay with me, is enough to move my hand. In the fragile silence of this request, I answer with unwavering kindness. Even when you can't express what you feel, I hear the silent cry of your mind, and I'm here for you. Sustain. Take a moment to observe the air that filled your lungs, the louse that runs through your veins, the spark of life in your gaze. All this reminds you that you live under my power that supports you. Each new day brings with it a renewal of possibilities, an unlimited fresh mercy. You don't have to fear what you do not know because my benevolent attention extends to all the hidden corners of tomorrow. Even now I prepare people, ones, and opportunities that will cross your route at the right time. Your role is not to solve all the problems at once, but to trust me at each step. While you advance guided by my voice, you will see my compassions support each of your needs. When discouragement slips into your heart, ask it. Remember all the victories you have already won. All the trials that once seemed to you insurmountable and which you have come out grew up. You grew up through unexpected lessons, and you have already perceived signs of my love that supported you in despair. Let these memories anchor your hope when negativity tries to overwhelm you. You are still there advancing because my strength carried you. Let your soul cool off with the certainty that I have not finished with you. What you consider to be an end could actually be the door of a new beginning. I compete in good, and no fall escapes my grace transformatrix. I do not take lightly the pain you feel, nor the tears you shed. Each of your tears is precious to me because it represents a part of your heart which aspires to deliverance. Whether you cry solitude, betrayal, confusion, or any other source of suffering, I stand ready to collect these tears and make testimonies of your resistance. Don't be ashamed of crying or sharing the intensity of your pain. Often healing has no honest liberation. I want you to trust me not only with your joys, but also with your distress. I am able to wear everything, and I want to bring you a deeper relief than any passenger comfort. You can be completely transparent in front of me, and in this vulnerability, you will find a unique and indestructible bond of confidence. When you are to forgive those who have done you wrong, know that I see the pain under your anger. Forgive does not mean to pretend injustice had never taken place. This means choosing not to let the resentment poison your soul. I can help you take the path which consists in releasing the evil suffered so that you can move forward without dragging the weight of bitterness and staying prisoner of the past. Invite me in this process, and I will guide you to freedom, where your personal ability to forgive is not enough. My infinite grace can fill the fault. One day you will look back and you will realize that freeing this rancor has released a greater momentum of empathy and compassion, even towards those who injured you. When you feel attacked, misunderstood, or wrongly accused, allow me to be your shield. You may be tempted to justify yourself, prove your value, or retaliate towards those who slander you. But my child, I am your defender. If you live in me, I will transform these false accusations into a springboard to strengthen your spiritual maturity. Keep your integrity, express the truth, and trust me to take care of what goes beyond your mastery. Remember that your value does not depend on human approval. You are already cherished beyond any measure, and no cruel speech or any unfair judgment can decrease the importance that I have placed on you. I have planned for you a destiny, and no slander can cancel the plan. I have to carry out the work I started in your life. Make your home a place where my presence flowers. Even if tensions are manifested under your roof, do not forget that I can bring calm to the most lively storms. Raises the needs of each member of your family, recognizing that I have the key to each heart. Although frustration can feed your anger, invite my mind to help you pronounce soft words that favor healing instead of intensifying the division. If the wounds are deep, do not lose hope for the possibility of reconciliation. I can rebuild bridges that seem destroyed forever, even if it requires time and the goodwill of all. Continue to pray, to love, to hope. I specialize in the transformation of chaos into harmony, especially when you entrust your home. When you observe the world outside your door, you can see conflicts, injustices, and an evil that seems to be amplifying. It is easy to be discouraged and wonder if the positive change is achievable. I ask you to remember that I am love, and that I placed in you a spark of this same love to share. Do not underestimate the strength of a single gesture of generosity or a simple, sincere prayer. A single act of compassion can spread far beyond what you can imagine. You don't have the responsibility to repair everything, but you are called to shine where you are. Let your actions be in accordance with my heart to afflict them and helpless them. Thus you will testify that the e-speech is always alive, that empathy still exists, and that healing can be born, even on a modest scale. When love is sincere, in your daily work, whatever the form, invite me to take part. Whether you take care of loved ones, you study, run a business, or serve in another way, everything you do is important if you see it as an extension of my character. Approach each task with seriousness, knowing that I see your efforts, and that I honor the dedication you invested. Even if your responsibilities seem trivial, they can become votes of blessing for others if they are filled with a heart that reflects my goodness. Remember that your value is not defined by your professional title or by the extent of your achievements, but by the love and authenticity that you put in each commitment. I am not more present in great achievements than in humble service. In all your efforts, I enjoy walking by your side. When you are thirsty for a clear direction, submit me your projects. Tell me what you hope, what is up to you, what enthuses you, and what bothers you. Then take a break to perceive the delicate ways that I can answer you. I may confirm your choices by a deep peace that floods your heart, by the timely words of a friend in whom you trust, or by an opportunity that aligns harmoniously with this you told me about. Sometimes I will close a door to open another one, and although it may initially disappoint you, trust me. I move away from the invisible chaos to orient you towards paths which will give you a deeper fulfillment. Patience is a form of faith. Believe that my calendar, even if it differs from yours, is fixed with love and wisdom. Look at the impulses that constantly come back in you, his skills or his dreams raised. Check if it reflects values of compassion, integrity, and service. In this case, do not be broken them. Pray, let me refine them and guide them. The gifts and talents that I entrusted to you are not there by chance. They serve a cause in the wider diagram of your life. If a passion is authentic, it can be used to bring hope to others while developing your character. Does not fall into the trap to compare your route to that of someone else. You have your own call shaped by your experiences that are unique to you alone. When you embrace the place I have planned for you, you will discover a satisfaction that you will not be able to imitate the vision of someone else. If you face physical weakness or health problems, don't think I abandon you. Your body can fail, but I remain the one who supports your mind. Look for the necessary help, take care of yourself, listen to the wisdom you have, and believe that I will be your strength even in the valley of the body test. I can bring moments of intimacy and revelation of a remarkable depth. Many have experienced the most intense meetings with me in their fragility because this vulnerability often opens the heart to my presence. Allow me to walk with you in your suffering, to balance you, and to comfort you as no other can do it. Perhaps you do with invisible injuries caused by words or malicious acts. The echo of these, suffering reason in you, influencing the way you see yourself and in which you go into contact with others. Know that I am fully aware of these inner attacks, and I suffer from seeing you be chained. My hand can enter these depths of your being to restore integrity where you only perceived a break. Healing sometimes occurs by means of small, gradual changes through prayer, the meditation of my love, or the confidence you place in a wise friend. Sometimes it arises as a sudden awareness that makes you free from long years of harmful ideas on yourself. That the modalities are, if you continually invite me into these areas of your soul, I will take you to freedom and a healthier vision of whom you are. If you have trouble believing that you deserve my love, remember that my affection for you does not depend on your merits, but on my very identity. I chose you well before you. Recognize, there is nothing that you can do to acquire or destroy it. My love is constant, infiltrating each area of your life. Even if you doubt your own value, I look at you and I see an infinite value. I trained you with a drawing, and I want you to perceive yourself as I perceive you. Precious, dignified, and darling beyond what you can imagine. Let go of the fear of having to be perfect to receive my favors. Let me pour my kindness on you, if impling, because that you are my loved child. Wherever you go, you travel far or stay in familiar places, I am by your side. You cannot escape my gaze, and I do not want you to hide from me. My most expensive desire is to walk with you, to chat with you the wonders of life, to console yourself when you are worried, and to celebrate each of your progress. There is not a part of your existence that is not close to my heart. Where others could get tired or forget you, I remain deeply committed towards you. When you stumble, I encourage you to get up. Quand tu es en fête, je me réjouis avec toi. When you cry, I bring comfort that goes beyond human understanding. This is the essence of my commitment, unconditional and eternal. Some relationships may seem worn, letting you succeed in a mutual understanding. You can perceive a ditch that grows without knowing how to fill it. Remember that a nice word can diffuse hostility, an excuse sincere can soften hardened hearts, and that a fervent prayer can invite me to intervene in dimensions that you do not see. Do not lose hope in reconciliation. Interviews humility, recognizing your own shortcomings and resistant to pride or resentment. If the other persists in his distance, keep your heart available, knowing that at the right time, I can create the conditions conducive to healing. You do not limit this path alone. My compassion envelops your person, that the one you are separated from. There is a melody in your mind that I have deposited there. She reasons of creativity, joy, and deep aspiration, connection. Sometimes you let this melody drown under the noises of concern, regret, or agitation. I invite you to find moments of silence to rebuild this interior song. May she remind you of your identity and the beauty of life. It can be revealed by art, writing, disinterested service, or simple expressions of gratitude. Whatever the form, remember that it comes from a sacred place in you. It is an imprint of me in your soul, an index that you were born for much more than simple survival. I know that you ask yourself questions about injustice, suffering, or sadness that exists in the world. It is natural to wonder why the pain remains if I am both loving and powerful. Know that the complexity of free will, the sum of human choices, and the maturation process in a universe not yet perfect intervenes in the difficulties you observe. My heart is sorry for cruelty, but my plan is to restore and heal in the end. In the meantime, I dress you up to be an actor of compassion and justice in a broken universe. When you are witness to suffering, reacted with compassion, with the certainty that each gesture of goodness weaves a little more hope in human history. This is not easy path, but it reveals the depth of love, strength, and capacity for renewal that I put in you and in humanity. Examine your inner landscape. Are there dreams that you put aside because you consider yourself unworthy or incapable? Remember that I choose people not because they are impeccable, but because they are willing to be shaped and instructing. If a dream continues to burn inside you, bring it to me. Request for clarity, management, and resources necessary to accomplish it. Sometimes your journey through failures is precisely used to refine your character and to prepare you to carry out these projects with humility. Embraces the process. You will discover that the detours have taught you crucial lessons necessary to approach the new season when your vision can be realized. Let your prayers be an open dialogue rather than a monologue. When you talk, also take a moment to listen. I will not always answer you with revelations of your truthing. Often, I guide you through small but important impressions in your heart. It can be a persistent feeling of peace at the idea of a decision, or a slight warning that encourages you to wait. If you feel that you have to get in touch with a person, do it with love. If you have the feeling of having to distance you from a specific situation, believe that I may have a danger. By cultivating a sensitivity to these signals, you will strengthen your ability to discern my management. Don't get discouraged if you make mistakes on the way. Each false step can become an opportunity for learning for those who remain anchored in me. Try to consider interruptions in your day not as discomfort, but as possible opportunities to express grace. Your schedule can be turned upside down by someone who needs a soothing or simple kindness. Instead of you ride in front of these detours, realize that I may be opening your eyes to an urgent need that you alone can fill at this moment. By responding to these discreet incentives, you become a blessing channel, and in the end, you will also feel enriched by shared love. Keep your heart open, because it is often in these unforeseen meetings that the most striking effects occur. You can fear that your life is too ordinary or that you have little influence. I tell you that in my look, the size is measured by the way you live with fidelity and love, not to fame or recognition. Même le plus petit geste de désintéressement peut résonner dans l'éternité. Be loyal in simple things. Remember that I see every step that you make with kindness, each effort to control your anger, each decision to forgive, each attempt to be a light in someone's darkness. These acts form a more precious imprint than all land praise. You will discover by following my heart a fullness that no external accomplishment can equal. Lift your gaze towards the immensity of the sky. Let him remind you that I am unlimited in my creativity and in the perspectives I offer. Just as the horizon extends beyond what your eyes can grasp, my plan for you exceeds what you can conceive at the moment. When you face challenges, do not retract. Remember that I walk by your side, giving you the courage to face each obstacle. You are not defined by your limits because it is I who insuffle the power in your moments of weakness. Each new day is an opportunity to move forward with renewed faith. If doubts arise who you are or in your place in the world, look for my point of view. My statements concerning you do not change. I tell you that you are precious, chosen, loved. When you are harassed by messages that contradict this truth, come back to my promises. Let them anchor, ensuring that nothing and no one can tear you away from my hand. Even if your emotions fluctuate, the reality of my unshakable presence remains. The more you immerse yourself in my truth, the more you will feel deep assurance. You will not always feel strong, but while remaining in me, you will grow up solidity and you will clarify your identity. I encourage you to find moments of praise in your life, even in times of difficulty. Gratitude has the power to transform. You're looking at my loyalty. Note the very tiny miracles. A nice word from a friend, a sunny morning after several days of rain, a meal that brings you comfort, or a burst of laughter in the middle of the tension. All these small moments bear the mark of my intervention, revealing the hope on a daily basis. As you practice gratitude, your heart is lighter and a new optimism germinates, reminding you that you are never without reason to hope for a better tomorrow. Stay close to me when He is tempted by things that promise you brief pleasures, but leaves lasting consequences. You can feel the attraction of unhealthy behavior, destructive relationships, or illusory escapes. They may seem to relieve you for a time or escape from your responsibilities, but they will never fill the space that belongs to me in your heart. Be honest with yourself on what really nourishes your soul and what only anesthesia. I want you to live in abundance, which implies giving up habits and influences that aspire life out of your mind. If you feel a temptation that comes up often, parley em. I will give you wisdom and mastery of you needed to hold on. You don't have to fight these battles alone. Understand that I am a new God of horizon, constantly inviting you to learn, to evolve, and to flourish. You are not condemned to remain in your old operations if you sincerely want to change. Whenever you align your heart on mine, you get closer to the abundant life I want for you. This life encompasses an emotional balance, a spiritual depth, and the joy of sharing love with those around you. Do not let discouragement make you believe that any improvement is unattainable. The progression can be slow, but step by step. You will see my grace remodel your thoughts, treat your emotions, and revive your sense of orientation. I perceive the charges, silent, that you wear for those you love. You want them to be blessed, healthy, or freed from their difficulties. Bring me these desires. Ask me about discernment to know how to best support them. Love them without trying to control everything. Remember that I also work in their lives in a way that you cannot fully perceive. It is painful to look at those we like to suffer, but know that I am actively engaged in the EUR history. You can intercede for them, and I hear your sincere requests. Leave me the freedom to guide, intervene, and reveal my love to them according to a rhythm and a mode that I deem the most suitable. Even in moments of personal triumph or celebration, do not forget me. It is more natural to pray when you go through a crisis, but I also appreciate when you share your joy with me. When a happy event occurs, your gratitude spring up. Recognize that any blessing derives its source of my generosity. This grateful posture deepens our link and makes you more attentive to future opportunities to rejoice. As you celebrate each benefit, large or small, your heart remains open to my desire to continue to surround yourself with my gifts. Remember that I am not a distant spectator who would have created the world and then disinterested. I am intimately involved, weaving compassion in the very framework of human existence through individuals like you. When you show goodness towards a neighbor, when you encourage the one who feels invisible, when you forgive where the resentment could have grown, you participate in this living manifestation of love. You are not a simple observer, but a carrier of my grace. Each day offers you new opportunities to express empathy, patience, and real concern. In doing so, you reflect my character to those who may never open up a sacred text, or will never frequent a place of worship. You become proof that love is real, that hope is an active force. Although life may sometimes seem like a gain and loss cycle, I remain an immutable anchoring. Nothing can separate you from my love, regardless of the movements of your situation. Tu peux perdre des gens, des possessions ou des illusions, mais tu ne me perdras jamais. I am fully committed to traveling every kilometer with you, radiant peaks in Valley Dark. Build your confidence on this eternal truth. You belong to me, and I totally invest in your well-being. If you constantly turn your heart towards me, you will discover the rest, the courage, and the clarity that the world cannot bring you. When your own strength seems insufficient to you, my strength unfolds perfectly in your weakness. There is no shame in admitting your limits. On the contrary, recognizing where you stop and where I start constitutes a pillar of the spiritual maturity. Let me fill what you can't fill. Let me wear you when the load is too heavy. In this union between your confidence and my power, extraordinary miracles can occur. You don't have to have all the solutions. Abandon the appearance of self-sufficiency and let my infinite resources eat. It is not a question of giving up, but of opening up to a larger dimension of my abilities. Discovering that the real strength is born from our partnership, I take pleasure in seeing you nourished with my words of life. When you dive, you armor your mind against deception. The more you keep them in you, the more you can easily spot the lies that would like to win your heart. My wish that you nourish your message spirit every day that instills hope, conviction, and love. Let these words reason, mediate them until they shape your choices and your vision of the world. If you don't know where to start, simply think about whom I am. Magnet, patient, just, and full of mercy. Align your way of thinking about my character and you will be preserved from desperation or conviction. No matter your age, your situation, or your story, I call you to live with audacity, carried by love. You may be tempted to believe that it is too late to have an impact, or that your influence is zero. But as long as you breathe, you can positively affect what you surround you. Whether by raising children in kindness, helping your neighbors in need, giving your time, or smiling with a stranger who feels transparent, each of these gestures counts. Everyone reflects my heart in motion, and I appreciate your will to be an instrument of peace and joy. Never underestimates the value of rest. In a culture that requires permanent productivity, it is essential to spare moments of tranquility. Resting is not display. It is a rhythm that I have established for your well-being. When you put your activities aside, your mind, your body, and your soul can regenerate. It is also a mark of confidence, admitting that the universe will not collapse if you stop acting for a moment. This position gives the opportunity to better perceive my presence, to discover new ideas, and to recharge the energy necessary for the excellence of your tasks. Welcomes this rest as a present that I designed for you. Take care and strengthen you. Contemplate the night sky when you doubt my greatness. Observes its immensity, the myriad of light which is inserted. Let him remind you that I maintain the order of the cosmos, while watching for every detail in your life. This paradox, my infinite power over the universe and my individual love for you, illustrates the extent of whom I am. You are surrounded by wonders if you choose to see them. Leaves the beauty and complexity of nature. Raise your thoughts beyond futile worries. While you amaze yourself, permeate the truth. If I take care of the stars, oceans, and each creature, how more I take care of you, shaped in my image and cherish with an unalterable love. You may be overwhelmed by your responsibilities or by the speed of changes around you. Know that it is legitimate to slow down and seek me in silence and reflection. I don't hurry to transform you into a snap of the fingers. I invite you to a step process after step, instant after moment. En apprenant à être patient avec toi-même, tu réaliseras à quel point mon amour patient t'a toujours porté. Growth is not always spectacular. Sometimes it looks like a flower that blossoms slowly under the morning sun. It can flow a certain time before you are fully aware of the transformation in class in you. But each progress counts. That, in the rebuilding surface of painful memories, does not run away from terror. Rather bring them to the healing space of my presence. Let me teach you to loosen the grip they have on your heart. Yes, they are part of your story, but they don't have to define your future. While you face these memories with frankness in front of me, I will offer you the consolation and clairvoyance necessary to integrate them so that they no longer hurt you. Over time, these same memories will be able to bring you empathy and wisdom that you will share with others in similar tests. Learn to estimate your journey, even if it has been punctuated by obstacles. It was also rich in moments of beauty, acquired lessons, and personal enrichment. Freud all of your path, seeing how each step, happy or painful, forged your personality. Give me all the facets of your story so that I would buy them and use them for purposes that manifest my love. Do not despise the slowness of your advances, nor the blockages encountered. They are chapters in a much larger story, and I already see how each element can assemble in a rich set of meaning for you and for many others. Explore your heart to detect if the fear of failure prevents you from doing this step of faith. Ask me to reveal you where caution has become immobility. Trying risks that harmonize in my management can lead to breakthroughs that you would never have imagined. I do not guarantee the absence of an obstacle, but I guarantee my presence at all times. If you fall, I will support you. If you fall, I will raise you. That my infallible commitment to your growth brings you the courage to try new projects, convinced that even failures can integrate into a larger plan for your existence. I aspire to what you know how close I am, involved personally. I am not a distant character, satisfied to look from far away. I am delighted with any mark of trust that you address to me, each sincere prayer, every moment of gratitude, each decision to believe in me despite your experience. My heart exults when you choose compassion instead of negativity. You have been created to reflect certain features of my character in this world, to experience a testimony of kindness, hope, and reconciliation. When people see your patience, they see a mine plot. When they taste your benevolence, they perceive a little of mine. Do not underestimate the strength of these daily manifestations of love. It remains vigilant to the temptation of isolation when life becomes heavy. The injuries you suffer could push you to raise ramparts around your heart in fear of suffering again. Although loneliness can be a balm to reconnect to me, isolation can also deprive you of the support that I have wanted you to find in communion. Humans are imperfect, and conflicts inevitably arise, but does not give up the beauty that is born when hearts come together despite their disagreement. I designed human beings to flourish in community. Your gifts, your thoughts, your presence are useful to someone else, just as the originality of others may. Search for healthy links and be ready to open your heart to those who really care about you. When you meet someone who tests your patience or arouses your anger, remember that he or she can wear hidden burdens. This does not justify any abusive behavior, but it can help you react with understanding instead of replying with violence. Sometimes the cruelty or the hard words that you endure come from the inner torment of this person. Be careful, but also know how to dose proximity if these actions constantly harm you. Don't let hatred germinate in you. Offer of compassion where it is sure and wise to do so. Then pray that only my mind can operate the transformation that person needs. I see the moments when you feel incompetent. You can compare yourself to others who cross capes that you have not yet reached and ask yourself if you drag. In these moments, remember that your life is not a race. Each soul has its own rhythm and its own route. Your importance lies in walking faithfully where I guide you, not in following the cadence of others. Rejoice in the successes of others, confident that I have a singular deployment for your story. Thus, you will reject the desire and you will preserve a heart open to joy, ready to welcome the blessings that will arise in due time for you. When you feel a spirit of spirit, a more intense call to prayer, a desire to study more deeply, or an aspiration to devote more, you don't know it. These incentives are invitations from my heart to yours. She reveals that I invite you to a more intimate communion, to the opportunity to know me more intensely. You can wonder if you are worthy or ready for this depth, but please don't let this worry you break. I equip those who say yes. If you just present yourself as you are, with an open and sincere heart, I will meet you. I will pour my wisdom, my presence, and my peace in your daily life, even transforming your most ordinary moments into a sacred space. You may have already been disappointed in your faith when you expected a specific result and things did not happen according to your wishes. Know that I have seen from an angle that is inaccessible to you. Sometimes preserving yourself from an ephemeral gain prepares the ground for a sustainable blessing. In other situations, adversity makes qualities grow in you that will be used for a wider drawing. It is normal to express your disappointment or your misunderstanding, but always keeps in mind that my love remains invariable. I make the same good situations that seem devastating you. Does not let go of hope. One day you will understand how I weave a specific plan for your good and for those around you. When doubt about me appears, bring it to me directly. I am not threatened by your questions, your anger, or your uncertainties. True faith does not require blindness. It flourishes in sincere debates and transparency. If something troubles you about the world or your beliefs, let me be part of your approach. Seeks wisdom in my words, in the reliable voice counsel, and in your own prayed reflection. Little by little, clarity will emerge. Sometimes it manifests itself by a new understanding that changes your perspective, just enough to see my action where you did not see. Let my compassion soften cynicism that could have settled in your heart. Life can be rough, and see suffering or injustice can obscure your gaze. However, do not forget that compassion is more powerful than cynicism, that it pushes you to pray for those who suffer, to defend those who are without track, to accompany those who feel alone. By acting in an authentic impulse of empathy, you become a vector of my healing for a world in penalty. Little by little, your own faith will solidify and you will perceive a deeper vocation. Even if your gestures seem tiny in the face of the magnitude of the needs, trust me to multiply them beyond what you can see. If you feel an emptiness, uncertain of your voice or your achievements, take a break and refocus on the purpose of your existence. Love me, love others, and walk in communion with the one who created you. Your life is gaining clarity when these fundamental principles direct your decisions and your relations. Material successes, although it is not bad in itself, do not constitute the ultimate measure of a fulfilled life. Interviews. A daily relationship with my love creates bonds of trust and generosity with those around you. And you will see the vacuum back, replaced by a growing alignment on the plane that I drew. For you, receive this comfort. I am never at second chance. If you fail today, I am here to help you start again tomorrow. If you betray your convictions, I am ready to welcome your repentance and guide you via repair. If you lose hope, I will patiently remind you that hope in me is never moved. This fall and recovery cycle is at the very heart of the human condition, and I take it with you each time. You are never disqualified from my love, regardless of the number of your triples. Let this promise get used to it. freeing you from guilt, and opening up to growth, learning, and renewed effort. The seasons of life follow one another: childhood, adolescence, adulthood, and other phases. You can change your career, move. Certain changes create joy, others cause pain, still others generate uncertainty. Through all these transitions, I remain your fixed point. The environment can change, but I support you at any time, welcomes the novelty as an opportunity to see things differently, to start new beginnings. If fear arises, recognize it in front of me. Let my soothing hand land on your heart, reminding you that in my presence, you have an unshakable base. Each season can be fruitful if you let me drive you, even when the path takes unexpected detours. When the blessings flock, share them. You are not done to accumulate selfishly. Whether it's time, means, know-how, or kindness, either willing to transmit them. Generosity reflects my character, and by practicing it, you will feel even greater fullness. It is not a question of research of personal interest, but of harmony with the flow of love that I have encrusted in creation. When you freely give what you received, you participate in this blessing cycle. You will see that a generous heart experiences deep joy and perceive my provisions to increase 10 amazing ways. If you feel little prepared in the face of the upcoming challenge, don't fear anything. I gradually prepare you over the days. Each day brings its share of lesson which strengthens you for future events. Tu ne perçois peut-être pas encore toute la portée de ces apprentissages, mais ils s'accumulent. These moments, sometimes harmless, where you learn patience thanks to a minor inconvenience, can be crucial during a more serious difficulty. Trust this process. Remains attentive to the multiple ways by which I teach through writing, events, other people, or even a slight momentum of interior consciousness. Over time, you will realize that your character has formed according to paths that you would not have chosen, but which equips you for a higher call than what you were once planning. If you feel torn between your ideals and your reality, do not get discouraged. This dissonance can serve as a compass, signaling the path to the growth that your soul wants. Where you discern your shortcomings, recognize them, and invite me to guide your steps. Where you notice possibilities for improvement in your environment, undertake small constructive gestures. Let this tension encourage you to become more loving, more patient, and more courageous. I use the tension even that you feel to work on your aspirations and your direction. Let's offer me your disappointment, and I will transform it into determination. Your confusion in clarity and your desire in action moved by compassion. Take a break now. Focus on your breathing. See in it the symbol of the gift of life flowing in you, supported by my mind. Even in the midst of your occupations, you can stop for a moment to remember that I am here, that I love you, and that you can expire attention and then inspire confidence. Make these short stops a habit. They will anchor you in the present and help you realize that you are worn by a loved one than any concern that wants to take place in your thoughts. In these breaks, you represent our link, that of the Creator and His creature, the Father and His child, the guide and His disciple. Look around and realize that no one is out of the reach of my love. This also includes what you can hardly understand or whose acts you disapprove of. If you find it in front of hatred or judgment, tell me this fight. Ask me to open your eyes so that you see the suffering hidden behind their attitudes. That doesn't mean to tolerate injustice or harmful acts, but let compassion guide your decisions and words. Sometimes loving consists in setting healthy limits or pronouncing a firm truth, but its foundation remains the desire to see healing and a real change. You embody this love by refusing to catalog anyone as irrecuperable. My heart is delighted when you find pleasure in little things. A meal shared with friends, a walk in the great outdoors, the laughter of a child, or a silent times of meditation. I place this ability to marvel at you. Interviews. Allow yourself be moved by beauty and kindness. Ces expériences, bien qu'apparemment modestes, sont de puissants rappels de la bienveillance encore présente dans le monde. When you savor these moments, you will feed a provision for joy and recognition that will affect your way of considering others. This attention to small blessings can strengthen your soul. You, recalling that despite the trials, life receives donations of grace that are just waiting to be noticed. Your value is not won in a competition. Many voices display you that you have to do more, acquire more, or have more to be important. My voice invites you to rest in the knowledge that you already have an immense price in my eyes. If you are looking for your value in what you succeed on the outside, you risk forgetting the intrinsic dignity that I gave you from the start. This dignity does not go out, regardless of the vagaries of your conditions. Accepting it, you freed yourself from the perpetual need to prove what you want. On the contrary, you start to live with the assurance and the tranquility that the anchoring provides in my love, independent of the gaze of others. Press yourself on me in your solitude. If you have the impression that no one fully seizes the complexity of your emotions, know that I perceive them all. If you have the feeling that no one hears your distress, I clearly hear it. Human relationships are essential, and I encourage you to maintain them, but they can leave certain needs unfulfilled. Let me fill these gaps. In the silence of prayer or reflection, you can feel a communion that exceeds human limits. Thus, when you get closer to others, it is not pushed by a feeling of lack, but sense an inner fullness, authorizing real relationships without making them carry the compliment to you. If you have lost something expensive, a precious relationship, an opportunity, or a feeling of security, it is natural to cry. I understand how painful it is to let go of what seemed unshakable. Let me sit with you in your mourning. Nothing presses. Healing takes time. Tears have their role. The penalty can purify the heart of illusion and make room for new growth. Little by little, I can help you. Gather the songs for a renewed vision. But don't try to force the speed of mourning. I walk with you with patience, bringing you the consolation and the promise that no loss can separate you from my unshakable love. Rejoice to know that you can always start again. Each sun lifting announces the compassions that are renewed with regard to you, regardless of what happened the day before. You can realign yourself to my will today, train it guilt of the past. Advance with hope, convinced that I notice every attempt you make to calculate your life on love and truth. My grace is enough, and my strength unfolds in your sincerity and your availability to be guided. Stay near my heart, and you will see your charge lightening. This does not mean that you will never meet any obstacles again, but that you will not face them alone, nor devoid of resources. My mind gives you wisdom when confusion reigns, consolation when your tears flow, and courage when fear roars. Let yourself be convinced by my constant dedication to you. Let this confidence serve as anchor, so that whatever the winds that blow, you remain firm in your identity, to be loved unconditionally and driven by my hand. Welcoming the present moment, aware that you are precious, advances in the future that opens with the certainty that I will never leave you. Amen.